Okay, literal equations. That's what we're going over, literal equations. Literal equations are equations that have more than one variable. So that's what we're writing. Literal equations are equations that have more than one variable. That's what a literal equation is. It's an equation that has more than one variable. Now we're going to talk about how to solve a literal equation. So we put to solve linear equations, to solve literal. Why I say literal? Literal. Sorry, y'all. To solve literal equations, you isolate the variable they want you to solve for. How do you do that? How do you isolate the variable that they want you to solve for? This is the important part of that. By using inverse operations. By using inverse operations. And I'm going to highlight that. Remember that the inverse operation for addition is subtraction, subtraction is addition, multiplication is division, and the inverse of division is multiplication. The best way to show you how to do something is to show you how to do something. So we're going to do 2 examples in these notes. Okay. I'm going to do our examples. I'm going to split this in half. I'm going to do example 1 on this side and example 2 on the other side. Let's go with example 1. In example 1, the variable that we're going to solve for is W. So we're going to put solve for W. So this is the variable that we want to isolate is W because we're going to solve for W. The answers to these types of equations are not going to be just one number because remember, there's more than one variable. And if they don't give you the numbers for the variable, then you don't know, or you can't solve for more than one variable at the same time. So your answers for these are going to be expressions. Your answers are going to be expressions. Okay? All right. And algebraic expressions at that because they're variables. This is the problem. You have P is equal to 2L plus 2W. This is actually the formula for perimeter. And you're going to solve W, which in the formula for perimeter represents width. So you're going to solve for W. In order to solve for W, you have to isolate W by using inverse operations. So you want to get rid of numbers and terms, just like a regular equation. Numbers or terms that can be added or subtracted to get rid of. Here I want to get rid of this positive 2L. So to get rid of a positive 2L, we subtract 2L on both sides of the equal sign. Okay. Everybody okay? Looking at faces and seeing. Okay. Joshua, you good? Can't see your face. Are you okay? All right, cool beans. Okay. Brayden, are you okay? Can't see your face either, sweetie. I think it's a yes. All right. Okay, good deal. Okay. All right, so here, when you are simplifying on this side, you get P minus 2L. You can't combine those terms because they're not alike, so just bring it down. Bring down my equal sign. 2L minus 2L is 0. And what's left is this positive 2W. Now, still with the goal in mind of solving for W, we got to get W by itself by getting rid of the 2. The operation that's automatically between 2 and W is multiplication. The inverse of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide both sides by 2. When you divide both sides by 2, on this side you get the expression P minus 2L divided by 2 equals, on this side, 2 divided by 2 is 1, so we are left with W. So the expression here is going to be P minus 2L divided by 2. And you can even simplify this a little bit more, but we'll stop right there for now. I don't want to give you too much at one time. So this is going to be your answer. W is equal to this expression over here. Questions about that? Now we are going to do example number 2. In example number 2, we are solving for B. So we're going to put solve for B. Solving for B. We put solve for B. The equation is going to be A is equal to 1/2 BH. 1/2 times B times H. This formula is the formula for area of a triangle. Your B in this formula stands for base. Your H in this formula stands for height. So when they say solve for B, they're asking you to solve for the base. So now we're going to solve for B by using inverse operations. So that means we need to get B by itself, isolate B. In order to do that, we've got to move the 1/2 and the H. We can do both of them at the same time, but we won't. We'll do one at a time for now. We're going to move the 1/2. This is multiplication here. The opposite of multiplication is division. So we would divide by 1/2 on both sides. Well, when you divide by fraction 1/2, that's the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 1/2 is 2. So you're going to multiply by 2 on both sides. Questions about that? When you multiply 2 times A, that gives you 2A. Do not forget that the number or the coefficient you write, customary to write that in front of the variable and not behind it, in front of the variable. This is 2A. 1/2, if I was to write this out to the side, 1/2 times 2 would give me 2 over 2. And 2 over 2, or 2 divided by 2, is 1. So 1 times BH is going to give me BH. And I need to put that this is 1 here. The goal, remember, is to solve for B. So you need to get B by itself by now moving the H. The H is attached to B by multiplication. The inverse of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide by H on both sides. Here, this is going to give me 2A divided by H is equal to, over here, H divided by H is 1. 1 times B is just going to be B. So this is the expression that B is equal to. And guys, remember, another way to write this is you can say B is equal to 2A divided by H. Either way is okay. Any questions?